Well, hello and welcome into Bronco Chat once again. David Gentili joined by the head coach of Santa Clara Women's Soccer, Jerry Smith, as the Broncos at long last get ready to get this spring 2021 campaign underway. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join me. It's been a long road to get back here. Just give me your general level of excitement for you and the group to be on the cusp of playing your first game of this season.
Yeah, very excited. Thanks, David. It's great to be back with you. Great to be back on campus. Great to be coaching, and great to be looking forward to our first game. It's been a long time. It's been since November of 2019. So, I don't know how many Division I teams in the country, but if there are any that have waited this long, I'd be surprised. We had no games in the spring because the pandemic hit before our first spring game. Of course, we played no games in the fall. A lot of the country, your viewers and listeners may not know that many of the soccer teams did play a schedule in the fall. Our conference did not, so we didn't play any games in the fall, and we haven't played any games thus far, as compared to some of the other teams in our league, like BYU and Pepperdine, have 4 games under their belt already. So this Saturday against Portland will be our first game, and we're chomping at the bit. The team's excited, the coaches are excited, and we're ready to see how we do.
Well, in an off season, unlike any other, there's a lot of different ways you can look at that, or from my standpoint, interviewing, ask about it. I want to frame the off season in terms of how you and the team handled it with all the changes because of the pandemic around the core values in your program. You have 5 of them. Tell me which one applies here and how that was a part of the communication to the team as you handled all these new circumstances and all this adversity.
Yeah, it'd be hard to single one out. I think probably the one that doesn't really apply. We know our core values by our acronym REP BC, created by one of our great goalkeepers here, Bianca Henninger. And the C stands for compete with toughness and determination. So we haven't competed at all. So that one probably doesn't apply. But, the R stands for respect the game, others, and our responsibility. So we respect, where we are. We respect the responsibility that we have in front of us. We respect the game, and we want to continue to grow the game under whatever conditions we're in. The other is embrace the opportunity for growth and success, and I think we had to use that quite a bit. So I think we talked about embrace the opportunity, about 1,000 times. We're at home. Embrace the opportunity to work on your skills against your garage door and in your bedroom, and embrace the opportunity to learn how to do film on your own at home. And we had to get really creative with our strength training, for example. How do you do strength training when you can't go to the gym and you're not on campus and use our AEC? So embrace the opportunity for growth and success was a really big one for us. And I would say probably of our 5 core values, that's the one that probably stood out the most. And we probably had to kind of hang our hat on the most during this unusual time.
Well, there was a point in time when it looked like the fall season might be a possibility. So you got kind of to the verge of being back there. Tell me from a coaching standpoint, as you were getting ready for that, again, in the midst of so much uncertainty, not really knowing a lot outside of a day-to-day basis, what did you learn about how to navigate this situation and leading a team?
Well, what I learned is I didn't know very much. I came charging out of the gate. We came in July for strength and conditioning like we normally do, and we worked our tails off. We got into preseason training and we worked our tails off. And maybe other coaches saw the writing on the wall that our conference wasn't going to have a season. I didn't. We prepared to play in the fall, and we worked very hard, and we were very intense. And what we did is we set ourselves up for failure. I set the team up for failure. the short answer is I fell flat on my face as a coach in that situation. Too much intensity, trying to worry about things that were out of my control, and pushing too hard in a situation that none of us have been through and there wasn't a playbook for, as has been said a million times. So, but I take responsibility for doing a really poor job with our team this fall. And we lost an opportunity to come together more than we did and to grow, to improve in different ways. And to be honest, we cut our training short in the fall because it wasn't going well at all. It was detrimental, if I'm honest about it. So, this is my 34th year at Santa Clara, and I feel like I'm really good at navigating tough situations and using judgment to make the right calls. And we've certainly done that a lot in our program. I absolutely got it all wrong in the fall. And, but that helped us this spring, this winter, this spring. That's really helping us. We certainly know what not to do. I certainly know what not to do. And so we have a very different attitude, a very different approach. We still want to be a great team. We still want to win our game. We still want to go to the NCAA tournament. Those goals haven't changed, but we're a little more flexible and a little more fluid and, kind of taking it day by day a little bit more than we did in the fall. And so my failures as leader of the team this fall have really helped us be in a pretty good place right now.
Well, ultimately, you're still working toward the start of the season and the first match day of the season. Big shift to a lot of virtual learning and not as many in-person interactions. So did you find that you were able to lean on something that you already had in place, maybe a little more heavily, or implement something new to help you and be effective in the virtual setting with your group?
I think the thing we leaned on, David, was individual meetings. So it's always been a big part of our plan here at Santa Clara. So I'm very proud that we do everything at a team level, of course, team meetings, team trainings. We do everything at a group level, midfielders, goalkeepers, forwards. But we've always also done everything at an individual level. Individual goal setting, individual film sessions, individual trainings, individual strength and conditioning. So the fact that was already something that we normally do really helped us because we took advantage of this time to really help each individual grow in the ways that they needed to grow. Some of them, it's technical, some of them are tactical, some of them are academic, some of them are life skills like time management. And so there was a lot of, emphasis on the individual. And I've really felt that the key to winning in team sports is your ability to connect with each individual. And the Zoom meetings, it was interesting for us because, now your kids are mostly Zooming from home, so you get to see them in their home environment. The old days, we made home visits before and we learned a lot about prospective student athlete during the home visit. Now, because of timing, it's been 10 years since I made a home visit, maybe longer. So we don't get in the kids' home. So doing this virtually, we're in their home, and dad pops his head in and mom pops her head in and the dog pops their head in. And, we get to see, their home setting. And the more you know about each individual, the better you are able to coach them and help them go to where they need to go. And so we relied heavily on the individual meetings, which we've always done, but doing it from their home gave us some insight into different aspects of their lives, which can only help us in being the best coach possible for each individual player.
Well, let's chat about the makeup of this team. And you've got a really, really good squad here once again as you head into this spring season. I want to start with your seniors, Kelsey Turnbow, Alex Loetta, Julie Doyle, Sophia Jones. I mean, that's as good as it gets as far as senior classes go. And not only the leadership qualities that they bring, but the fact that they're all very impactful players for you out on the field. As you look at this group, how do they help your team go, and how does their leadership help your team be ready to roll when you step on the pitch?
Yeah, 4 terrific student athletes, all 4 starters, all 4 have been 4-year starters. This will be their 4th year. All 4 leaders. I think all coaches, you get excited about a year where your best players are your most senior players, and your best leaders are your most senior players. We have that. Our best leaders are our seniors. Our best players are our seniors. And it's all 4 all 4 are different. That's also key. It's nice to have kind of so many boxes checked with these 4. You have offense, you have defense, you have central play, you have wide play, you have vocal leaders, you have leader by action, you have, cerebral players, you have players that just don't think at all, but just are so amazing with their just intuition. And so there's just check off so many different boxes that it's exciting to think about. And, in our training, we're rusty, and, but we've had some flashes of just, wow, we're pretty good. And when we have those flashes, it's those 4 that are leading the way for us, for sure.
Well, Bronco fans always know to look out for that group. But one big change that they'll be able to see this year is in net. Last year, Courtney Ogren, Sophie Whitehouse handling the goalkeeping duties. So who steps in to start this season?
Yeah, we have 3 really good goalkeepers, quite honestly. Marley Nicholas is, she's been here the longest. Marley it's just, God, what an unfortunate situation for Marley. Marley was super talented her freshman year, but our goalkeeper was Melissa Lauder. She was a 4-year starter and a captain, and Marley could have battled her easily for the starting position. We chose to save Marley's year and let ride Melissa's coattails since she was a senior captain, and that worked out pretty well. And Marley, of course, was then so excited about getting going in her sophomore year, and in the spring leading up to her sophomore year had a horrific ACL injury, and she missed her sophomore season, and then going into this fall was excited about finally getting going, and then the season got canceled for COVID. So Marley has yet to play a fall, a competitive season game. She played a couple of spring season games, but she hasn't played a competitive season game yet. So, but she's been here 3 years. So we're excited for what Marley can bring. We have another returning player, Felicity Baker, who's came in very fit and is looking very good. And then we have a freshman, Kylie Fouch, who has a lot of potential and a lot of talent. So we have 3 very good keepers. Marley has the edge right now, and will start for us on Saturday against Portland, and start out the season. But the other 2 will be pushing her pretty hard.
And finally, Coach, any newcomers that Bronco fans can expect to see getting some good minutes and making an impact early on?
Yeah, again, we mentioned Kylie Fouch as a new goalkeeper. I think she'll get some opportunity. We have a newcomer, Sally Menti. She'll be starting for us. She's a really terrific player with a ton of potential. She looks like a seasoned veteran, already. And then we have Makoto Nizu, Makoto is she's from Japan. She's played with the youth national team in Japan. Very technical player. She's also going to be starting for us on Saturday. And then we have 2 other newcomers who are chomping at the bit to play. Marissa Bubness is, she plays in the back line, and very, very tough defensively. I've called her the best shot blocker I've ever seen. We usually talk about shot blocking in our sport, quite honestly. That's more of a basketball thing, but shot blocking is a thing in soccer, and it's a just take one for the team type thing, and Marissa certainly does that very well. And then of course we have Rachel Bastone, and Rachel Bastone is also a backline player, and as what I've always loved about great backline players is they're playmakers. They're very good with the ball. And we've played Alex Luetta at center back quite a bit because Alex was so good with the ball. She was a playmaker for us. Rachel Bastone, similarly, is very, very good with the ball, very good passer, very clean on the ball, very composed on the ball. So all four of those new players, plus Makoto, all five of those new players will come in and make a big difference. And the reason I almost didn't include Makoto as a newcomer is because Makoto's been here. Makoto's been here since last winter. She just hasn't played in any games yet. So we really have four brand new players, and then plus Makoto, who's been here but hasn't played a game yet. So all five of those players will be able to contribute for us this season for sure.
First game scheduled for Saturday at noon against the Portland Pilots at Stevens Stadium. That's the head coach of Santa Clara women's soccer, Jerry Smith. Coach, always great to catch up. Thanks for your time, and looking forward to seeing the team in action this year.
Thanks, David. Go Broncos.